All right, let's get right into it. We are about to completely unpack the hidden, totally subconscious mechanics behind literally every single first impression you make. I mean, the stuff happening just beneath the surface of our awareness, it's absolutely fascinating, and once you master it, it's a real game changer for how you interact with the world. Imagine a clock ticking down right now. Tick, tick, tick. You've just walked through the door. Whether it's a super high stakes job interview, a massive pitch to a new client, or, even a blind date. The brutal reality is that your window is already closing. You have exactly 7 seconds. Just 7 fleeting seconds to completely establish your character in the eyes of a total stranger. So you gotta wonder, why do we judge so fast? Like, why are our brains hardwired to make these sweeping, potentially life-altering judgments in just a tiny fraction of a moment? Honestly, it seems kind of unfair, doesn't it? Well, that is exactly the central mystery we're going to solve in today's explainer. Okay, let's dive right into this. Section 1, the 7-second countdown. Let's really deconstruct these encounters. So here's the formal definition of the 7-second window. It is the rapid, subconscious, cognitive process where sweeping judgments are formulated regarding a person's character, competence, and trustworthiness. But honestly, the absolute most crucial word there is subconscious. This whole operation, it's running quietly in the background of your mind. You aren't actively trying to judge someone, but your brain is just doing all the heavy lifting without you even realizing it. Let's deliberately pause time for a second here and walk step by step through these invisible cognitive milestones. Right at second 1, your brain is purely doing visual intake. It's just absorbing the raw physical data of the person standing right in front of you. Then, by second 3, it dramatically shifts gears into a rapid threat assessment, basically deciding in a flash if you're a friend or a foe. And then, boom, by second 7, the gavel drops. The final judgment is completely locked in. It literally happens in the blink of an eye, yet it follows this highly specific, incredibly rigid order. Section 2, the evolutionary survival instinct. To really grasp why this happens so incredibly fast, we have to look back at our biology. See, there is this massive disconnect between the modern world we live in today and the ancient machinery operating inside our heads. Your conscious brain, well, it's slow, polite, and logical. It totally thinks you're just warmly exchanging names and pleasantries during a handshake. But your subconscious brain is a straight-up survivalist. It is instant, survival-driven, and constantly generating rapid judgments. Deep down, it's still looking out for a saber-toothed tiger, even if you're literally just grabbing a cup of coffee with a new colleague. That ancient survival mechanism is the thing actually running the show. Moving on to Section 3, decoding the instant assessment. When you step up to a podium or walk into a crowded room, what exactly is that ancient survival brain actually looking for? Well, your biological checklist operates in a very, very strict sequence. Step 1, scan for the threat level. Subconsciously, we always prioritize our own physical safety above everything else. Then, Step 2, evaluate status. Basically, where does this new person fit into the social hierarchy? And finally, Step 3, determine trustworthiness. Is this someone I can actually rely on? So it's safety first, social hierarchy second, and reliability third. And here is exactly why this matters so much for you. If you fail Step 1 by seeming, say, aggressive or closed off, your brain, actually, scratch that, their brain never even bothers to check Steps 2 and 3. You're already out. And because this biological scan happens so incredibly fast, the brain relies almost entirely on visual cues. In fact, look at what's totally missing here, the actual words you say. Crazy, right? The words don't even make the top criteria. Instead, the major components driving a first impression are body language, facial expressions, and attire. That is the raw visual data package your observer is rapidly processing. But hey, this is exactly where you can take back control. Your physical presence dictates their biological scan. Just pulling your shoulders back directly signals status and confidence to their brain. A genuine, relaxed smile proves you aren't a threat, and it reveals your trustworthiness through those tiny, fleeting micro-expressions. And of course, dressing appropriately for the context frames your perceived competence. By actively aligning all these physical cues, you're basically guiding their subconscious checklist straight to a positive result. It's like hacking the system. Section 4, the final verdict. Which brings us to the absolutely most impactful part of this entire phenomenon. To quickly summarize the core truth of our explainer today, our brains are hardwired to make sweeping judgments about a person's character in a mere 7 seconds. And this matters immensely for your everyday life. Why? Because once that 7-second window closes, those fleeting microjudgments rapidly calcify, They completely harden and lock in a long-term perception of who you are. This totally invisible psychological machinery dictates how people will treat you, how much they're going to trust you, and how they will ultimately remember you. We've uncovered the hidden survival instincts, the biological checklists, and the nonverbal triggers that dictate human connection. So knowing exactly how you're being evaluated, how are you going to spend your next 7 seconds?